The drive continues on TSN 1200.
Welcome back to the show on this snowy, bitterly cold, and frustrating Tuesday. Ian Metis and Graham Creech with you. And here, we'll bring a little sunshine into your vehicles if you're stuck on the Queensway as we get to the Gabriel Pizza Hotline and bring in a couple of gold medalists from last year's Pyeongchang Olympics. Remember, I really miss saying Pyeongchang. I wish we could say it more often. Let's get to the Gabriel Pizza Hotline and bring them in because they got a brand new tour going across Canada. It's Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir. Welcome to the drive. How are you?
Hello, great. How are you?
Going?
Hey, it's freezing rain and snow here. Like, come on.
Oh, I know. I saw that come across
Sorry
the
about
screen
that.
today.
Yeah, this is brutal. But what's not brutal is the fact that the two of you have a brand new tour. It's going to be going right across Canada, but I think it's 30 stops. It's a rock-themed live tour, so maybe you can tell our listeners a little bit about Rock the Rink.
Yeah, well, we'll debunk this right away. Not necessarily rock-themed, although it is called Rock the Rink. We're going to be having a rockin' good time.
Rocking the boat.
But we won't be, skating to Metallica for the whole, or any of the show, really.
Well, it's not out of the question yet, but we're definitely going to be going across the country, doing a very fun skating show. We're going to have some live bands. We're going to have some live music. One of them, Birds of Bellwoods, a Toronto-based band that we're very, very excited to have with us, as well as Canadian superstar Patrick Chan, Elvis Stoico, Caitlin Osment, and we're going to take this thing across the country and have a party every night and come into a city near you. We kind of can't wait to get out there.
You mentioned Elvis Stoico. I believe he's 47. How impressed is it what he's able to do on the ice still?
Impressed. We're extremely impressed. I mean, we love Elvis as a person. For me, as a boy growing up, that was the first question I got asked was are you a figure skater? I say yes, and then they'd ask if I knew Elvis Stoico. So it's kind of like being on the ice with my hero every night. But he's in great shape. It's not great to have a guy who's 15 years older than you and in better shape than you, but it's an inspiration for sure. And he brings a great energy and experience to our cast. So we're so pumped to have him.
So November 7th, you're going to be in Ottawa, and I'd love to know from the two of you, what comes to mind when I say Ottawa? What comes to Scott Moir and Tessa Virtue's minds?
We have so many great memories in Ottawa, don't we? I mean, some national championships, some really special times that we've been performing there. There's always an interesting energy when performing in Ottawa. The crowd is so knowledgeable. It's so warm, energetic. Not to mention, we just love the city. Yeah. I mean, it's a really special place in our hearts.
Think about being on Parliament Hill with all the other Olympians. It's probably one of the highlights of our career, being able to celebrate and, in the House of Commons. Pretty neat. So
I got to ask you, too, I think you became household names in this country. As I mentioned, you win Olympic gold. How hard is it for the two of you to go out in public and not be recognized? Like, are you pulling baseball caps over your head going to the movies, or where are we at? Where are we at with that?
I'm not above a baseball cap, but no, it's actually really fun to be out, especially in Canada. People are so respectful and polite, and if we were able to share a moment with a Canadian, with someone who is watching us during the Olympics, then we want to say hi. We want to engage. We want to hear their story and touch base. I think we're also pretty good at flying under the radar when we need to. That's the nice thing about being an athlete. We can sort of step in and out of that spotlight. And we're grateful for that opportunity always to hold a certain place in someone's memory as it relates to Canadian history of sport.
Scott, you went viral while watching the women's gold medal game with your beer. When you go out, are people asking to chug beer with you or anything like that?
That's a good question. It is kind of funny. It was interesting. I don't think people knew that I drank beer before that, but it took a while for me to buy my own beer when I got home back to Canada from that moment. And a couple of my buddies really thought that was funny and had a picture of me, and I signed a couple of those before I had to be like, okay, that's enough. We worked pretty hard on being Olympic athletes. I think we'll focus more on that than the beer drinking, yelling at the ref, Scott. But he exists, and I'm a very proud Canadian, very proud of those girls. So maybe a little bit passionate. I wasn't as out of hand as I looked. I think I just look out of hand in a toque, but whatever. I'm just a pretty passionate guy.
Tessa Virtue, Scott Moir joining us here on the drive on TSN 1200. Tessa, I got to ask you about, and I think it's just a couple of weeks ago that Mattel and Barbie announced a new...
how cool.
Yeah, this is really cool for the people that don't know. A new collection. It's kind of like a role model series of Barbie, or for Barbie, and you were asked, Tessa, to be one of the new Barbie dolls, and I think this is a fantastic story.
Oh, yes. I mean, to be one of 20 women chosen around the world to be part of this role model series and to celebrate Mattel's 60th anniversary, Barbie's 60th anniversary, the You Can Be Anything campaign. I mean, there are so many positive messages surrounding Barbie and the fact that, it's all about instilling that message in young girls that they can be and do anything and everything. There's this sense of limitlessness and fearlessness and being unapologetically yourself. When I saw the Tessa Virtue Barbie standing next to the 19 others, I was so struck by the fact that those are the women breaking barriers and inspiring the next generation to come. And I was humbled and honored, and I'm not quite sure I fully believe it yet. But I have some fun with little B around my house. She's touring around London right now.
That's an unbelievable accomplishment just to be looked at in such a role model like that. But is there any rumors truth to the rumors that there's a Scott doll in the works?
I get that, and I'm not sure how to reply because this movement is such a necessary movement. I'm so proud of Tessa and an honor, but a well-deserved honor. I mean, she's such a great role model to young girls and all women across the country. So I'm not really sure I have a reply for that. I don't belong in that conversation, but I'm definitely a supporter.
So I would imagine that after you win a gold medal and there's awesome opportunities like this Barbie, that you would be inundated with marketing opportunities. Now, without naming, because I don't want you to throw any companies under the bus, what's the strangest request you've had? Hey, we'd like to make a Tessa and Scott fill in the blank here. What's the craziest thing that has come your way?
That's a good question. I mean, I won't throw any people, but there's one brewery that was an Olympics supporter, and they were very, very supportive when I got home, including a nice beer fridge with the, kind of had our own names on it and our accomplishments, and it was full of their finest product. That was probably one of my favorite perks of being a Canadian Olympian, and, my family and friends definitely enjoyed it.
But no, like clothing lines. Nobody's come to you guys and said we want, anything like a weird product. Nothing like that.
Nothing too strange.
No.
If you have any ideas, just send them our way.
Sounds like you have some in there.
Hey, listen. As we wrap up here, and again, you're going on tour coming up. When you switch from the competitive side to sort of the more I guess we'll call this the entertainment side of skating.
Absolutely. That's a great way to put it.
What do you miss the competitive side? Like, is there that fire inside you? Like, does it just burn in a different way?
I think so.
Yeah, I think, for a long time we always said that if we weren't our best and hopefully the best, then skating was less and less appealing to us. But we've really found a realm to channel our energy, set new goals and purposes, and invest in something special and rewarding with this Rock the Rink tour. We've sort of ticked all the boxes on the competition circuit. So now how can we push the limits creatively and challenge ourselves in new ways? And that's been fun and invigorating, and both on and off the ice. This whole tour is a great learning experience, and it's been such a fun project for us. And as Scott mentioned, the stacked cast we have, it's really meaningful to come together and put on a show like this and have the opportunity to go across Canada and into so many towns, people who supported us along the way.
We appreciate the time, because I think I turned on my TV this morning. You were on Your Morning today, right?
Yeah.
So is this hopefully the last interview you've got?
Hopefully not. I mean, we have a couple more coming up, but honestly, we're just so happy because this is such an exciting project for us, and the support that we've gotten from Canadians has really allowed us to be able to kind of share our art and given us this platform. So in order to launch this, we have to say we're pretty invigorated today and more excited about this project than we have been about anything for quite a while. So we kind of can't wait.
Yes, and thank you for covering it and for chatting with us, taking the time. We really appreciate it.
Oh, the pleasure is all ours. Thanks so much for joining us. There goes two of the finest Olympians who have ever suited up for Canada in the past. Tessa Virtue, Scott Moir.